Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. As always, my name is Jay, and in this video I want to show you a quick update. It's been about a month since I did my last update video on my Operation Dark Angels Glow Up painting challenge to myself. My goal is to get these models painted by Halloween. Yeah, Halloween is my goal. Am I as far as I want it to be? No. I took a week off painting because my brother came to visit me. I've been getting some stuff done. I'm going to show you today. But things are coming along. I'm happy. I'm content that maybe by the end of the month I'll be where I need to be. My goal is to have 30 of the 50 miniatures painted by the end of September, which I'm going to get for sure. I'm going to keep up and just get my stuff done and my painting done. And then I have a lot of characters. I have 4 characters to paint. 5 characters to paint. One I'm just going to make a painting tutorial out of, and a couple Dreadnots as well. So it's going to be some painting. But that's okay. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving it so far. I'm slap chopping them, and I love using contrast paints and speed paints as well. It's amazing. I have more fun using speed paints than I ever did, or contrast paints than I ever did painting without them. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Let me show you my models. Let me see and let me know what you think. Leave comments in the comment section down below. But how your painting projects are coming along. But let me show you what I've been working on. All right, so here we go. Here are all the models. That guy's on a base right now, just because he's going to be my next painting tutorial model. I'm going to slap chop the Apothecary Biologus. Cool. As I said, right now he's just primed gray. And then from a 45-degree angle, I hit him with a white. So he's going to be all set to go. I'm going to start painting him this week. Maybe get the tutorial up in the next week or so. He'll be fun. So I'm going to work on him on the side when I'm not painting my other miniatures. Good stuff there. So what I did was, just to let you know about the process, was I started off with all the models primed black using Steinora's primer. And then from a 45-degree angle, I hit them with a light gray, and the light gray I used was a one-to-one mix of Steinora's gray and Steinora's white primers to create this appearance. And so I wanted to keep this guy primed. I might make a quick tutorial on him, how to slap chop as well. Cool stuff. And yeah, then I did do a quick dry brush of all the models, which was completely useless. I did on all these models. Quick dry brush using Wraithbone to make it more white toned, and then I used an airbrush to paint the bone armor for of course the Deathwing models, and the Dark Angels green for all the Dark Angels green models. Cool. I'll go over some models in a second. However, what I noticed was the bone went on really thin and glossy, so I've been dry brushing afterwards just to bring out the tones and to dull it down, so that was completely useless on them. And then on the greens, it did work a bit. It did work a bit, but it's just, on some of them it got really dark really quickly. Dark Angels green is such a dark color that I had to thin it down slightly. And I thinned it down even more for the Dreadnots to create a gradient, and they're the ones that are the shiniest. And I've had a couple of these guys get really shiny, so I'm going to have to go over them later and just with another thin coat of Dark Angels green, which tones it down, the shininess, and brings it back into realm. So here we go. Let's go over the models here. So what I did was, and of course I after that I then started squad. So I started off, of course, with my Dark Angels Deathwing Knight squad. They're not on the table because they weren't new. I just kind of landed them up in one of my painting with Jays. They're all done. I've actually used them on the tabletop a couple times. They're really hard hitting. And then I painted up some Deathwing. Here's a squad of 5 Deathwing Terminators, looking awesome. I made a painting tutorial on that guy. Yep, the guy in the back is my painting tutorial, how to speed paint them. They turn out really well. I love them. Again, speed paints and contrast paints, they go so easily. They turn out awesome. I'm loving it. Use them on the tabletop already. Loving them. And I also painted a Deathwing command squad. Cool. The funniest thing is, of course, which we're eventually going to get new models as well. They're cool. They're a command squad, and they're smaller than the new Terminators. But again, really easy to paint. I'm going to highlight the banner, because the banner turned out nice for me. Let me see if I can make that. Yep, there we go. The banner turned out pretty well. And all I did was I used contrast paints, and I think I used like 2 non-contrast paints, other than the metallics. It was pretty easy. Went together really well. Some quick highlights, but the banner itself was almost entirely contrast paints. I used them to blend. Turned out nice. Again, it was a much quicker experience than I thought it would be. The guy has a missile launcher, or rocket launcher, sorry, my apothecary, which I used, again, the contrast white on, and then I did a quick dry brush using ghost white from Reaper. And there's the champion right there, and the leader of the squad. I'm just going to zoom out here. Look at that. Turned out nicely. Again, just contrast paints mostly. I did use, I found my old glaze and it became really shiny. Whatever, I might tone that down after. But I used a green glaze just to bring those greens together after the highlights. Overall, loving them. I've already played 2 games with them. And they hit hard. They're pretty fun. For the points cost, they've been doing well. They survive, and I think they've gotten like a wound off one of them one time, and then the apothecary healed it, basically. Yeah, they were awesome. So those are the first 2 squads I painted up. And then I painted up next some Stern Guard, because I've never painted Stern Guard before. So once again, for these guys, what I did was I used some silly putty and masked off their heads, and that way I could just prime their heads white, and they were really easy to paint. So once again, I just slap chopped them. As you can see, they turned out really well. I love them. I did paint cut me a couple coats on the cloaks, but great stuff there. Great stuff. Loving them. And the heads turned out well. Once again, just a quick, apothecary white and a quick dry brush. But they've been fun. I can't wait to try them out on the tabletop. They were fun painting. And I painted up 5 heavy intercessors. They were just my last week's. They were kind of a palette cleanser. Again, when you're speed painting or slap chopping Space Marines, they're not very time consuming. I painted them over a couple days. It wasn't too hard. They look good. Again, tabletop ready. They're definitely more than 3 colors. They have metallics, and I highlighted them all. I'm trying to paint them all to a slap chop method, but with highlights. So, as you can see, like that's Dark Angels. All the greens are highlighted. The reds are highlighted. The golds are highlighted. Silvers and the bone tones. They all have highlights. Love them. So, yep, they're going to be awesome. And for the basing for these guys, for these Terminators, I just use the same basing as my former Terminators, but everyone else is going to be using my new method because I ran out of basing, and they don't make that basing anymore. So I'm just going to use Astrogranite debris with a quick dry brush of Screaming Skull, and then just some dead grass flock on the bases. It turns out nice. I have a bunch of Astrogranite debris. I bought it before it kind of got pseudo-discontinued. It's hard to get now in stores. Cool. So far I've painted 20 miniatures. 1, 2, 3, 4 squads of 5, plus my Deathwing Knights. So it's really 25 models. And so that's good. My total model count of the new guys is 50. And so I still have another 10, Desolation Marines, which these are this week's painting challenge for myself. And what I did was, as I said, so I dry brushed them all green, and then I've just been painting Wraithbone, 2 thin coats of Wraithbone on the areas that I need to make red, or bone-toned, or leather. That way I have a nice color to paint over. And then it's easy. Again, I'm just going to paint those colors, let them all dry, and then highlight them. And then the silvers, of course. And then I have a squad of 10, I forgot what they're called. The Burner Boys, I call them. The Burner Boys. And I'll probably stop and make one of them into a tutorial or maybe a couple review videos as well. But they're going to be easy too. Not a whole... Again, I'm slap chopping Dark Angels, not a complex color schemes. Those are 20 of my remaining, 30 models. Great shape. 20 of 30 models are going to be squads. And I'm going to have these 10 guys. My goal is to have these 10 guys done by the end of the day. Or not the end of the day, the end of the week. And then see if I can tackle almost all those guys next week. So by the end of September, I could have almost all of the squads painted, which would be phenomenal. And then that would leave me 4 characters. I have 2 lieutenants. Phobos Lieutenant. The other lieutenant that's available now for pre-order. Cool. He's very dark. And of course, a librarian. I've already started painting skin tones, and I'm going to test out a couple colors to make them glow. I did buy a couple new contrast paints recently. I want to try them out. And of course, a captain. in Terminator armor. Again, all I've done with him is just hit him with the Skeleton Horde, and then a couple of quick dry brushes, but I'm going to bring out all the colors as well. He won't be too hard. Again, these models aren't going to be too hard. When I'm slap chopping them, they're going to turn out decent. That's my standard. I'm happy with them. Life is good. The Apothecary, Biologus, but I'll be painting him over the next week or so using tutorials. Just again, so what I'll be doing is just a quick step on him, and then painting my other guys at the same time, multitasking. Now, this is where it gets kind of funny. I painted two Dark Angel Dreadnots, and I wanted to paint them in opposite highlight schemes. I want to see which one worked better. And so for each of these guys, what I did was I primed them black, and then gray, and then white using an airbrush, and then I hit them with the Dark Angels green. But unfortunately, I thinned it down, and it became very glossy. Very glossy, as you can see. So I'm going to have to hit them with like a satin varnish. I just picked up another satin varnish because my old satin varnish was kind of gross. So I'm hitting it with satin varnish, but I don't know which highlighting scheme I like better. This one has the darker ups. You know, this one has the lighter ups and the darker downs. But overall, I think they both turned out pretty cool and well. Yeah, so I have a Ballistaris, Ballisticus, I forgot what they're called. Brutalis. Also available for pre-order this weekend. So my Brutalis Dreadnought, I haven't tried him out yet, or my Ballisticus or Ballistaris Dreadnought, haven't tried him out yet either. I'm going to play a game soon in the near future where I'm going to try out both these guys at the same time. I want to try both of them in the same game and have some fun. I'm trying as many new models for my Dark Angels as possible right now. I'm having fun playing Dark Angels. And so I've been trying a bunch of new models against a couple armies and having fun. Having a great time. Yeah, they've been fun. And that's it. So these guys I'll be painted up in the near future too. They're all primed and, you know. And again, I've already taken, by painting the greens ahead of time, which is the big color on these guys, takes up a lot of the painting off your, you know, just gets it done ahead of time with an airbrush. Great way to batch paint a bunch of Space Marines. And that's it. But overall, I'm quasi-happy in my painting challenge. I really hope to get more painting done in the near future this week and be back on track. And let's see how many of these guys, and then once I'm done all these guys, this brings me up to 47, and then I have the 3 big characters left. I have Azrael, I have a Chaplain on a bike, and I have Lionel Johnson, which I'll paint Chaplain on bike first, then Azrael, and then Lion. And go from there. And then I'll be done. And so my goal is to get all these guys done before the end of October, and then start painting them up over probably the weeks of October, and then finish the year strong with some Tyranids. But I hope you guys like it. There's my army so far. And it's about 2,000 points of painted Dark Angels that are on their way. Yes. So, that concludes my update video. What do you think? I think I'm doing okay. I'm not where I need to be, or not where I want it to be, but I'm kicking butt. And I'm reading my World of Unpainted Miniatures. I hope you are too. How are your painting projects coming along? Leave comments in the comment section down below of how your painting projects are coming along. I hope they're coming along just as well as mine is. And you're having just as much fun, and you're having a great time, and you're reading World of Unpainted Models too. Because that's what it's about. You know, stay tuned for more updates. And of course, check out my Painting with Jays, because it's how I've been painting these guys. You can see that I've been painting these guys in my Painting with Jays. And I've been enjoying myself and having a great time. So stay tuned for more videos. And as always, till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting, everyone.